chat function. We'll be using the chat function, and we'll also be using the Q&A. If you have a question, just so we don't miss it, put the question in the Q&A. If you put it in the chat, we may miss it because the chat goes up really quickly. Okay. Last week, we had, I think, a few hundred people in this whole session and also watching it after. So that was exciting. And today we are in for part 2 of our session with Chesubire Greg. Okay, so in case you're wondering, in case you just walked in, or in case you missed last week, it was all about brand building. How do we craft our business identity? How do we tell our business story? And we had MSME growth consultant, certified leadership coach, expert, and I like to call her the master storyteller for businesses. She's called Chesubire Greg. If you've not interacted with her, you're going to be thrilled that you came in today. Okay, I'm just going to warn you because the session is short and sweet. So if you have a question, put it in the chat, in the Q&A real quick. If you have a comment, put it in the chat so we don't miss out on it, okay? All right, thank you very much. Without any further ado though, I'd like us to hear from Co-op Bank, Mr. Peter Ndumia, Head of Non-Financial Services, who is a critical part of why we do these sessions. He'll be reminding us why and welcoming those who are here for the first time. But before he does all that, I'm curious, Peter, when you have meetings, how many minutes early are you there? And how many minutes early should people be there when you call for a meeting? What are your thoughts?
Great question. Thank you, Sam. Good morning to everyone. Yeah, I think let's even start with the webinar that we always do. I think we are always logged in 30 minutes to 40 minutes before the session starts, just to be ready. And I think for any participants that I will also expect to be in the session, maybe the physical session, I think 20 would be a good number, Sam, just to make sure that we familiarize ourselves with what is happening in the environment.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Peter, please go ahead and do a welcome note, especially for those who are here for the very first time. And just remind us, how long have we been doing this? What was the idea around this? And what kind of fruit are we seeing from these sessions?
Great, and thank you, Sam, and thank you, dear customers, for joining this session. I want to take this opportunity to really welcome all of you in the session. I want to say asanteni sana for joining the session. I see very usual names that we meet. We always hear in the session before time every Thursday, and I can see a number of new names. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. This is where we meet. If you're meeting here for the second time or third time, you're still new to the session, I want to really welcome you in this session. Feel at home. We do this every Thursday. We call it Co-op Bank MSME webinar session that is supporting our business customers or the MSMEs to grow in their business. And someone will be asking, why do we do this? We do this just to make sure that we are well equipped. We just do this to make sure that we know how to manage our businesses. So we get tips, we get some insights that will be very useful to us, even in this tough operating environment in our businesses. We want to learn from each other. Again, we also want to learn from the speakers, the great speakers that we always have. And we also want to get feedback from you as a bank so that then we are able to make some of these solutions that would be useful to you. And I think this adds to what we call the non-financial services program that include the networking forums, that include the MSME clinics that are organized by our branches, the international business trips that we have, and the MSME online portal that we have on our website. And we'll be sharing the link that you can use just to make sure that you log in the session, and learn some of the things that we've done. So I think for us is really to welcome you in this session. Again, we do this every Thursday. We welcome you every Thursday just to make sure that you feel at home, and just to let you know that we value your comments, we value your feedback, we value your participation in this session. And again, we really appreciate the partnership that we have with you as our customers, and we want to work with you in the business journey. And so let's engage. Today we are going to have a very good topic. We are talking about brand identity from our own Chesubere Greg. She was with us last session and she has participated in so many of our sessions. And we are hoping that we are going to do the practical part. Today we are having practical session, and we also want to learn from our dear customers. So we'll be learning from some of us who've been able to implement some of the things that we've done, and we hope that everybody is going to learn, and we wish you all the best as we implement some of the things that we do in this session. So with those remarks, Sam, I want to hand over the session to you so that you can proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Please help me appreciate Peter Ndumia and the rest of the team at Coop Bank for bringing us this session every week. Please use the claps, use the emojis, use the smiles. Make sure he feels the love and he can pass on enough love to the green team, the Coop team. And I see that there's also Steve Kamisi says in the chat, brand building last week was awesome. Learning quite a lot, and thanks for organizing this webinar series. So Peter, that's to you and the team. Please send back those greetings and the love and tell them, hey, these sessions are not in vain. We are definitely appreciating quite a bit from our bank. So thanks, Peter. All right then. So let me move us to. So we've had a bit from Coop, and just it's always good to find out why are we doing these sessions? Why are we constantly doing these sessions? What's the benefit? What's the heart behind it? So that we don't miss out and forget why we're doing what we do. And I have a leader who I follow, who I really look up to, and he says, vision leaks. And I think there's a book by that title. If you don't keep reminding people why you do what you do, and maybe that may be connected to today's story, but it's important that we remind people why we do what we do. So let me remind you also a little bit about who else is involved in this. So we have Coop Bank, we have African Management Institute coming together collaboratively to provide these sessions every week. A bit about African Management Institute, in case you don't already know, we're all about in this context providing practical management and workplace training, power growth. So we believe you have a great dream that you want to pursue. You're working with the bank to pursue that dream, but we also know that you need people, you need a team. Okay, if your dream is just small enough for you to achieve alone, then it's not big enough. That's what someone said. But we know that when it comes to pursuing and pushing the dream forward, you need a team. And our role is to make sure that we can help you support them with management skills, management workplace training, so that we can power them to a point of growth so they can push, build their muscle so they can push that dream to reality. And that's who we are. That's what we're about. Across Africa, there's been quite a bit of impact we've had in the last couple of years. AMI's reach and presence across Africa, everything that you see green on the map here is involved with AMI. So we have the office, the head office is in Nairobi, Kenya. So that's a brilliant thing. We have regional offices in some places across Africa. We have country representatives in other places. But some of the things that we're most proud of is the fact that we've trained over 42,000 people across the continent and encompassing across 39 countries. So we're super excited about that. That was from 2014 and we're in 2024. So 10 years of a journey. And I think we continue to celebrate that. And we are proudest when we're able to provide the value that you as entrepreneurs are looking for to push that dream to reality. All right. So let me switch really quickly. And you guys said you enjoyed the session last week. So before we get started today, I want to check in with you. So what is one thing I know last week, I know you had a long weekend, probably okay. Now this is the moment to kind of dial into this session. What did we talk about last week? So for branding, what do you remember? What do you remember? What did you learn from last week if you were here? If you are not, don't worry, I'll give you a quick recap, or we'll hear a quick recap from Greg herself. But what's one thing for those who are here? What's one thing, either the question on the screen, one thing you are changing right now about how you're telling your business story or brand story, or one thing you learned from last week? So let's get some engagement in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking at the chat. Please tell me what you remember from last week. What made last week amazing? What did you learn? And maybe what's one thing you are changing about how you're telling your brand story? Okay. Maybe as you think through that, I will let you know today's format is going to be all about you. So last week, you could consider it a bit of the theory and the principles shared from Chesubere Greg. And this week we said, okay, let's share a tool. So Chesubiri was gracious enough to share a tool for us to use to think about our branding and how we're telling our stories. And there's 4 key questions that we're looking at. All right, there's who am I? What do I know? Who needs what I know? And where are those people? So that's 4 questions to start. Okay. The class can get wider. There's learning too, but at least let's four questions. Okay, so those were the 4. And today we're going to be getting, we asked you guys to send an email if you'd like to be the person to, come on here, answer those questions, talk through them. What are your thoughts? And then you can get direct feedback from the master storyteller herself. Okay, so let's see what we have. Beldin says, consistency and focus is critical in business. Steve says branding is about telling your story. It's not about the logo or the color. It's what your clients relate with. Very good. Thank you, Steve. Anyone else want to share what they learned from last week? I know we talked about quite a number of things. We were sharing that story is, by definition, an account of events, either true or imaginary. Okay, how do you tell that story? Okay, how do you use words, images, and expressions to convey a message to a specific audience? Okay, how do you do that? That's what storytelling is. Where does the audience come in? Who are you speaking to? Okay, who are you speaking to? Who needs to understand your message? Who are you responding to? Who do you need to respond to your message? In other terms, we say target market. What's your target market? What's your focus group? What's your community? Who are these guys? Who you're looking at as buyers? How do you connect with that audience? And why don't we connect? Okay, so that's a bit of the areas that we covered. Roy says, visioning the end in mind as the guideline for my business operations. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to give just a few, maybe 1 or 2 others. I can see you thinking. I can see you thinking like, this is like an exam. Why is he asking us these questions? Well, I'm asking you because we need to make sure we are learning. So the goal of this is not just have amazing guests come in and share their world of knowledge. No, we want them to share. We want to make sure you're learning something and something that is very applicable to where you are. So yes, good morning. I'd like to hear from you 1 or 2 things that you picked up from the branding session last week. Anyone, 1 or 2? I know some of you are already feeling a bit uncomfortable. Can't we just move on? No. Let's wait here a little bit. I'm stretching it because I want us to make sure that we're ready for what's happening today. Okay, good. All right. So that's a bit of the recap, but I'm also going to ask Chesubiri Greg to touch on a little bit of what we went through last week. What can we expect from today? And then before she does that, I'm going to let you know. So we had 4 people respond, at least 4, I think, that we'll be able to share today. We're going to give each of them 3 to 4 minutes to share briefly about who am I? So in terms of course, their business. So they're going to be sharing 4 things. Who am I? What do I know? Who needs what I know? And where are those people? Then they'll be getting a response or some feedback from our master coach, our master coach storyteller, because she is the coach as well. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Salma says, so excited to hear from Chesubiri. Isma says, branding is about marketing what you're dealing with. Okay, so much more coming through. And yes, keep coming through with the chat. But ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please give me those claps like we did last week. If you don't clap enough, this lady is not coming to the screen. If you don't clap enough, she's not coming to the screen. Oh, she's already here. Chesubiri, you're supposed to be hiding. Wait, remove your video, please. Please clap. Wait, clap. This lady is not easy to get here. Okay, you see her smiling and she seems very relaxed. She's not easy to get here. And for her to offer 2 weeks, last week was amazing. Offer another week that's going to be amazing directly. No, we should be paying her extra for this. But she's been gracious. So yes, thank you for the claps. Thank you for the love. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Drum roll. Chesubire Greg, master storyteller, to help us with our business development needs and how we can grow our businesses and tell our stories better. Subire, welcome.
Well, thank you, Sam. I can see Salma saying you're threatening them. It is important.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic week. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving how we have recapped what we learned. So quick recap, 2.5 minutes. I hope you can time me, Sam. What we did last week is we defined branding as beyond just the marketing function, and which is where most of us think about branding in terms of somebody said earlier, branding is not the logo. I remember I said it's not just, right? The word just is important to remember. Your logo is part of your brand, your color is part of your brand, but it is the result of the connection you have with your audience. And that's what I think we need to really focus on. So we said that your brand is determined by your audience because you're speaking to them. You must speak to them in a language they understand, in a way they resonate with. And there was one question at the end about color. And somebody was asking, but what if the color I want is not the color that the industry wants? And remember, we said some industries have specific colors. So I give the example of the milk industry. The general colors of the milk industry are blue, white, and green, generally, in the packaged milk. But if you look at the yogurts, there's a lot more variety, there's a lot more color. So the bottom line is you have to understand who you are. So this applies whether you're doing it as a business or you're doing it as an individual. Who you are as a business, what do you know? What are you? What is the one thing you can do with your eyes closed as a business? So then who needs that thing, and then where do you find them? 4 seemingly simple questions. But I'm certain there are people who sat like this for many hours when they went back to try and figure it out. The thing I will say today as we go on and as we listen to people, you are not called to everyone. Take that, write it down, put it on your wall. I don't serve everyone. If everyone is your target market, you have no target market, you will have no sales. You are called to a very specific set of people with a very specific need that you are the perfect person to meet that need. That is why those 4 questions are critical. And you need to define. Remember, I said you must know your audience intimately so that the day you meet them, you know. I don't know how many of us have gone for networking events and we have spent 3.5 hours there and we came out with nothing. Why? We didn't research the event. What were they talking about? What were the companies in the building? Or you could get in and you're like, it doesn't feel like I should be here. Feel free to leave, okay? Be sure that your focus is on your target audience. So then, depending on where they are, it could be online, but online where? There are 26 at the minimum social media sites. You may only know 5, but there are 26, okay? So then, depending on your age bracket, are you dealing with children? You better be on Snapchat. Are you dealing with the rest of the spectrum in between? There's the age bracket on TikTok. They're the ones on Instagram. They're the ones on Facebook. There are people who are outliers who are on all those platforms, but every generation or grouping, by and large, there's a place you find them. Are they a specific gender? Are they a specific age bracket? What is their capacity to buy? Because your customer is the one that is willing and able to buy your product consistently over a long period of time. So that is a simple recap. Branding is not just your publicity materials. It is not just marketing. It is how you interact with every layer of your customers. Back to you, Sam.
Fantastic. Okay, so I really like how you're moving very quickly. Talk us through what we're going to be doing today. I know you gave us this assignment about storytelling, and it was the SAT tool. And it's 4 different aspects that we're going to be hearing about. Just talk us through them, especially for the context of those who may not have been here last week. And then after this, we'll get to hear from the different individuals who sent in their homework.
Okay, let me do a quick talk through. So remember, it's 4 questions, but it's not just 4 questions. It's 4 big questions. Who am I? So let me give it to you quickly in an individual format and then in the format of a business. So who am I? Astra Subire. I am an excellent storyteller, but I'm a business mentor. I've been in the business SME world for 24 years. I have never worked corporate, so I have no business telling corporates what to do. However, I have spent enough time in the marketing and branding side to consider myself an excellent storyteller. That is who am I. So that is very easy to do. Who am I in form of your business is what is it your business does? I will use, let me use AMI as an example. AMI is a virtual platform that helps business owners and their teams access the information they need for growth. If you look at it, how many have they trained? I think 42,000, if I'm not wrong, Chimera. Trained 42,000 business owners across the African continent. They are located in 8 countries. They are located or have a presence in 8 countries, okay? That is who AMI is, but they're very clear. They have solutions for entrepreneurs and their teams, okay? What do they know? They know how to solve problems. They know how to share information. They know how to train in a way that's implementable and applicable. So if you go into their class and your colleague goes into their class, you will both come out with a similar focus, a similar track record. If you have an individual who goes and says, I didn't learn anything, could it be then that it's the wrong target market? Because business is business, but how MSMEs live it out and how corporates live it out has a completely different angle. So who needs what they know? Any business leader, Chimera, do you have an income range? Some people say we work with MSMEs whose turnover is X to X. Do you have that range?
We have different clusters of programs. So from the micro to medium to some really sizable ones. So yeah, but we cater for those different categories.
Okay, so then I would just pick off the bat. So who needs what they know? MSMEs, micro businesses who are starting out, who need ideas on how to build and stabilize. Small businesses who are already stable, probably break even, or at least they have a product in the market. So you see, they have clusters that you can work with, which means then the product offered to the micro is different than what is offered to the corporate. So that is who needs what they know. So where are they? Most of the micros, you'll find us on social media, you'll find us in small associations, you'll find us in clubs like this where our banks are bringing us together. So that is why you see AMI here. Because this is a place that there is a pool of entrepreneurs in the definition they serve who need what they have. Makes sense. So every Thursday, when CoopBank and AMI deploy this webinar, they are both working in their sweet spot. Okay? CoopBank has the services we need as MSMEs. They listen, they respond, they design for us. AMI has what we need in reference to learning. Perfect sweet spot. Does this make sense to everybody? So who am I? You define what you do all the way to where you find your target market. Back to you, Chimera.
And you did that all in just under 2 minutes. This is why I keep calling you the master storyteller. So ladies and gentlemen, when all of us grow up, we want to be like Subire Greg. and if we can get closer in this session in how to talk about who we are, what do we do, who needs what I know, and also where are they, it's going to be success. Now, I'm going to move us forward. So the first person we have is organization is called Kakamega Physiotherapy Allied Services. I'm just double checking with Fiona. Fiona, if you could kindly confirm, just making sure that our I should be on as a panelist.
Yeah, he's in, and that's Nehemiah.
Yes, okay, because I wanted to double check how do I refer to. I didn't want to assume that his name is Kakamega. So Nehemiah, good morning, sir. How are you doing? Nehemiah, go ahead and unmute your mic. Okay, Nehemiah, going once, going twice. We just want to make sure we can hear you well. Yes, I see your mic is open, but I can't seem to hear you. Is it just me? Nehemiah, would you say a quick hello?
Can't hear him.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear him either. For the sake of time, Fiona, maybe you could advise, is Margaret ready? Because we have 4 people, and then that will be very helpful for the session. Margaret Wambui, let me know if you can hear me. Please unmute your mic. So basically, whoever is ready, just for the sake of time, we'll get into it and then come back. Margaret, kindly unmute your mic and share. Margaret, all I need you to
Hi,
say
everyone.
is a quick hello. There you go. Welcome, Margaret. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How is everyone?
Very good. Margaret,
I
can you
hope
see my
everyone can hear
screen?
me.
Yes, can you see my screen, Margaret?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Margaret,
I can
I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes. I want you to talk us through how you thought through these questions and what you came up with, and then Chesubire will give you direct feedback. And also at the end, I'll invite everyone to give a bit of feedback, but please keep your feedback positive and productive. Okay, you know how these sessions can go. So keywords, positive,
Let me
productive.
add one thing. Margaret,
Yeah.
do not read the slides. Do
Ah,
not read what is on the screen. Talk to us about your business based on what you wrote. Don't read the screen.
Chesubire has taken the odds up now. Okay, Margaret, are you ready? We're ready for you. Please welcome Margaret. Show her some love. Give her some thumbs up. Give her some claps. Whatever you can do to make her feel even more comfortable. Yeah, lots of people rooting for you, Margaret. Fiona, kindly help me check on Nehemiah as we get into this. Margaret, you have about 3 or 4 minutes. Please share with us. Tell us your story. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I have been an attendee of this webinar, and it is helping us very much as business people who are trying out different things. I started making probiotic yogurts sometimes last year. I got interested because a friend of mine was training other people, and I saw a niche somewhere. So I started to make yogurt first for my family, and then I introduced it to my friends who also are interested. And now I think I want to make it a business. So I'm selling to some of my friends in the small business that I have, and also my neighbors. But marketing, it's step by step. That's what I'm trying to do, because the yogurt is probiotic, so it is for everyone from a small child up to the elderly, because I don't use any kind of artificial sweeteners or preservatives. It also helps in a medicinal way, since it is helps with people who have ulcers, gastritis. So it's a medicine in some way, and it's healthy for the whole family. So I'm trying to market it once in a while when I'm free from the other businesses that I do. And I can say it's going somewhere, since our trainer is here and is going to show us the tools to use so that we can be able to market and get our target customers. I think that is all. And thank you very much.
Margaret, could you tell us, so the 4 areas are, who am I? What do I know? Who needs what I know? And where are they? Help us cover these areas. Anything you may have left out.
The who am I is, I am Margaret Wambui, an entrepreneur who wants to bring the yogurt business in the market, which can bring which can help my customers sort out some medicinal issues in them. My target customers is all age differences, from a small kid up to the elderly, and my customers are basically everywhere. I think I have answered the questions.
Margaret, do you remember me saying that if you are marketing to everybody, you don't have a market?
As well, give us some response.
Since my product is being consumed by everyone in the house, how am I? How can I select? Because it can be consumed by everyone, since from the small ones up to the old ones.
Who buys it? Who pays for it?
Basic age group from my age group, the parents, now maybe the parents and the elderly from age adults, let me say adults.
Adults is 18 to 100 and whatever. Define.
Yes.
I need to define a target audience. You see, first of all, there's something you said. I market it once in a while when I have time. So I've already decided you're not a serious business owner in terms of this particular product.
It's the way we call it a side hustle.
It doesn't matter if it is a side hustle. You do not go out to the market and say this is a side hustle. Then we know we can't trust you to be consistent. So a few pointers for you. It's a bit too general. I wouldn't buy. And I'll tell you why. What does probiotic yogurt mean? All yogurt has culture, all yogurt has good enzymes, right? So
Yeah.
what is the difference between regular yogurt and probiotic? Because is yours a little bit more expensive than the regular yogurt? So what will make me buy yours? Does that make sense? Yes, everybody can use your product, but who buys your product? So then you say adults, 18-year-olds would not buy probiotic yogurt. I promise you, they don't know the value of it. I have a 17-year-old, yogurt ni yogurts. Or he will buy based on brand. So the person who will buy a probiotic yogurt, number one, understands the difference, or you have convinced them about the difference. So when you come into a space, bring all your energy with you. Okay, you're Margaret Wambui, right?
Yeah.
You're not just a yogurt maker. You transform lives by sorting gastric problems, right? So it's the words you use when you say, I just market yogurt in my free time outside my other businesses, right there. And let's put it in the chat. How many people stopped at that statement, when I have time? How many people caught that one? Please just put a YY in the chat. We are quite a few of us. And I want you to see instantly what happens. We're 138 of us. Many people had that. You see, like quite a few people are putting YYs in the chat. When you said, I market it when I have time, it tells whoever you're talking to, this is not a serious business. So talk about what is probiotic, what benefits do I get as the owner. I heard you talk about people with ulcers. So then you could lead it with a question. Do you have or know somebody who deals with ulcers? Do you know people with gastric issues? I can help you with that because a probiotic yogurt does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is where it is. It is natural. It is, then you can do that whole spiel that you gave, has no additives like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Because you are helping people resolve their gastric issues. In fact, now Irene, I can see in the chat, it's like she had an aha moment just a few moments ago. So take what you know and refine it and keep practicing. You are more than 1/3 there. You just need to remove that statement of market once in a while. It's no one's business that you're doing other things.
Yeah.
But that one statement will throw people off. They'll know, huyu, next week naweza mpigia na hayuko. So those are the things you must do. Go back and look at your audience, because I think once you define your audience, you'll do a better job. You're not selling to every adult. You're selling to the adult with a cup who is willing and able to buy and understands the value of probiotics. So go back to your community, find them, identify them, and define them, and then rewrite your brand story. identify them by age. They are women aged 20 to 35 who take yogurt X number of times a week and have children this age or parents that age. Define them like that, and then that will tell you where to market to them.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I ask an additional question? Who is already buying?
Those who are already buying are age limit is from let me say 30 to 40. I already have regular customers who I sell to weekly, like twice, or others that take once, and people who have such kind of issues like ulcers and gastritis are my regular customers. Those who take to their home states to the children, I also have some of them as my regular customers.
Chesubiri, how do we use that information where you look at who is already coming to you to give you an indication of who your customer is?
That is her audience. So those are the people she must go back to and ask, why do you buy? How has it helped you? Okay. So that when you respond, you can now tell people it cools the acid, it calms the stomach, because now you're taking the words from your audience. So go to your existing customers and ask them, how has this product changed your life? Where do you spend your time on socials? How would you wish you had it for? So you use them as your research base, because that is your customer base. That is the place you can increase your reach with. Do you have groups you're in? How would you like to hear more about this product? Does that make sense, Margaret?
Yes, yes.
Because your existing base becomes your research base for expansion.
All right. Wow, thank you very much. Allow me to move very quickly. Thank you so much, Margaret, for choosing to share with us your story, and thank you for allowing to get some input from Chesubiri and the rest of the team. Now let's turn to Nehemiah. Nehemiah, are you ready? Let's see. So Nehemiah is with the Kakamega Physiotherapy Allied Services. Nehemiah, I'm just waiting for you to say a quick hello so we can make sure we can hear you. Just unmute your mic. I see your mic is unmuted. Say a quick hello. I think we're sorting out some issues there. I want to be one of those time police people, so let me move quickly while we sort that out. Beldine, please switch on your mic and say a quick hello. If we can hear you, we'll start with you and then come back to Nehemiah. Beldine, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Yay, happy Beldine. Good to hear from you. Now, you know how this is working. I want to hand over to you so you can say a quick hello, but just to remind you, Chesubiri does not want you to read your slides. So I'm just going to keep this, this one up as you speak about your business. Just say a quick hello and then let's get into it.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Beldine Achieng, trading as Brelia Enterprises. My business was founded after so many failed businesses. So I started a general supplies, but later on I zeroed down to supply of cereals. So when I started doing cereals, of course, everybody consumes cereals, but I needed a market that is sustainable. Because in as much as people feed on a daily basis, I wanted this business to grow. So I decided to approach schools, institutions generally. So I started with schools, then colleges, then I ventured into supplying Kenya prisons. This is way back from 2013. So when I joined institutions, I got to make them understand my business and also tried to understand their needs. Because like schools, generally, we supply termly, and you'd want your business to be moving even after the supplies. So when I realized that schools are termly, then I looked for prisons, because prisons people feed daily. There's no term, there's no closing, so I just went full blast on Kenya prisons as well, at least to sustain the business, because schools don't pay as fast as the way prisons would handle you. So that has kept me in business until now. Now, to answer the questions about who am I, who needs what I know, what do I know, where are they? So generally, when you go to the institutions where I supply, they call me Brillia. Actually, nobody talks about the Brillia Enterprises. My name shifts from Beldin to Brillia. So when you go to any institution where I supply, they call me Brillia. So it's my second name. Now, by understanding my customers, this has enabled me to know that there are times when there are crises. Probably you had supplied, they've not paid you, but they still want more supplies. So that is when I now got close to the bank, so that when I feel stuck, I run to the bank, they sort me out so that I don't fail on delivering my orders. Apart from that, I made them also understand that in as much as I'm in business, I also need to be kept going. So we agreed
Okay,
in a
Beldin,
way.
sorry,
Yes.
Beldin, let me jump in. You
Yes?
have gone off track. You have gone off track.
Okay.
What you're doing is preparing, you're sharing with us how you pitch your business. When you're pitching to me, I don't need to know what your challenges are. I want to know how the product you have is useful to me.
Okay.
So you were brilliant until before you started talking about they don't pay, they struggle. So I also need to be kept alive. When we bring those conversations into our customers' faces so blatantly, we lose their respect.
Okay.
So this is what, so I'm going to flip it on you because you have a lot of your points together. It's just the organizing of the same that we need to do. All right.
Okay.
So you could start by saying, my name is Beldin Anyango, also known as Brillia, your cereal provider. Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
Because the thing you do is you ensure that people have access to food through, despite where they are. So you could say your cereal provider or the institutional cereal provider because your focus is institutions, right?
Yes.
So you are an enterprise that provides cereals to institutions, so you can settle there.
Yes.
And you talk, I like how you said everybody needs to eat. So we make it accessible, or we make food accessible by giving wholesome, high quality, whatever it is you're going to add there. All right?
Yes. Yes.
And then for this part, so who needs, you've already identified its institutions. I'm hearing by and large, your better client is the prison service.
Yes.
So how do you find them? That's what I now want to hear from you. How many prisons are you currently serving?
3.
There are 43 or 45 prisons in the country. So how do you expand? So where are the others? What do you need to do to reach the other, let's say 40 prisons?
So like generally to reach my customers, I go to them.
Excellent.
I physically go to them. And before I go to them in person, we normally apply for those tenders, which are done in the There used to be the major district offices where there are procurement officers. I don't know, currently they're called county or something, but they're still under national government.
Okay.
So we apply for the tenders. So after the procedure, we now approach the various prisons in those particular areas. Like if you
Okay.
want to supply, for example, Siaya prisons, you go to Siaya procurement office and apply for those tenders. If you want to supply Kisumu, you go to Kisumu procurement office. So it is me who goes to them to ask for these jobs.
Okay. So then your marketing strategy is different from everyone else because most of us have to do a client facing or publicity or some social something to connect with our customers.
No, me, I don't do that.
Yours is different.
Me,
So you
I go
see,
to my clients.
now us in the session, the 140 of us in the session, do you see how every individual business has a different marketing strategy? If we go back to
Yes.
Margaret is likely going to have her biggest marketing strategy as word of mouth and tasting. Okay. Brelia has to go through the procurement process to even begin to give people awareness of what she
Yeah.
has. So that is
Yes.
where you see in this point of defining who needs what I know and where are they, that determines how you connect with your audience.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
question for you in the chat. Anything unique about your business? Somebody in the audience is trying to see. But then you see, Lucy, unless you are in the prison service and you have a link to being the procurement officer, then there is a way in which Brelia Enterprises, you're not her target audience.
So,
Does that make
like,
sense?
I can see the question. So what is unique about my business? It is me to make it. Like, way in the places I supply, there are also other suppliers. So for me to appear unique to my competitors, I insist on quality, good quality and better services. Like you find in institutions like schools, we might supply same quantities, but when you're supplying, you don't go there with your offloaders. So when you get to the school, you start bothering the school on who to offload and all that. So like me, I walk in as a whole package. I make sure I carry the right quantities and quality, and I also carry my offloaders. So when I get there, my duty is very simple. I present myself, I tell them what I've brought, they check my quality, they weigh them if they are the right scale, then my offloaders just arrange in their stores. So that makes it easier for me and makes it also easier for the people I supply, my customers, to prefer me over others because they feel I'm efficient compared to others who don't do the same.
So then why don't I encourage you to rewrite your brand story with these elements? Because what you wrote for us didn't bring out, because you talk about your quality, quantity, and it's about service delivery, right? So when
Yes.
you rewrite it, it needs to be, I challenge you to rewrite this into 3 sentences.
Yes.
3 sentences. Each sentence must be under 15 words. So rewrite your description in 45 words.
Okay.
Bring out
Just
the
repeat
uniqueness of
repeat
service.
that task again.
Rewrite your description in 45 words, 3 sentences of 15 words each maximum.
Okay.
I have a
Noted.
question, if I may. Yes, I remembered. Dean, quick question. Maybe this might be related. I'm also curious. What have you've said 3 prisons. what have the 3 prisons said they love about you?
Service delivery, my service delivery. Like when
Okay.
they give me an order,
No,
I
sorry. I'm rushing you. No need to explain it. I'm just curious. What have they said? Like not you saying, but what have they said? So service delivery.
yes.
I think that Chesubire, do you want to touch on that? I know you're passionate about hearing from the customer. That's why I keep bringing back that question.
Yes, because that's what she needs to happen. When you talk to the next person, that is the thing you highlight. The quality of your produce. You source it from high quality places, you bring them in the right weights and measures, and you deliver them to standard with zero stress to the customer. Because service delivery will be your game changer. It's already your game changer. So rewrite it around those things. Focus on those things. Go back and keep asking them. So this time, what was your experience? What can we do better? What aren't you getting? It will give you their pain points, and then you continue to expand and improve your service around those pain points.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Welcome, you're welcome. And Lucy, Luseka, we hear you. I want to maybe tie back to what Chisubire said. So Beldine serves prisons, but I know you also mentioned she seems to serve enterprise, no, not enterprises, you said institutions. So Lucy may have access to institutions and wants to bring that market to Beldine. And if you're doing that, then that's fantastic. But let's a big round of applause for Beldine. Thank you so much, Beldine. Keep engaged here. Big round of applause. Let's appreciate each other. It's not easy to come on here in front of 100, almost 200 people and share your story. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Have you seen Doris?
Just a minute. Doris says this is like an academic paper. How do I write my story? It's tough enough to write it in a full chapter. How do I write it in? Chesubire, complicating our lives. 45 words, so 3 sentences, 15 minutes each. Wait. Please give us tips on how to do it, because all of us are like, wow, what's happening here? But anyway, so okay, sorry, let me not cut you. I want to hear from the 2 other guys. I know it's 12 and our time is fast spent, but I want to come back to this. So Nehemiah, we want to go to you. We'll keep coming back until we have success. We're entrepreneurs, so we don't give up. Nehemiah, are you here? George, are you here? I know George Mumbo. Please open your mic, say quick hello. I don't want us to lose the opportunity to hear from you. George, oh Nehemiah, come on. One of you, we need to hear your story. Where are you? Okay, so I'm going to change this up a bit if we're having challenges hearing from those that are already slotted in.
Look, read Natasha's.
I'm there, but okay, so I guess we could do that. So if you want to write, if you're already written out yours, I can read it, and then Chesubire can give feedback response. So let's do what Natasha has done. Natasha, thank you for the innovation here. So who am I? Havana Laundromat. We offer a wash, dry, and fold laundry cleaning next day service. We offer pickup and delivery services. What do I know? The current urban residential landscape is apartment living. These are somewhat tight and closed spaces, do not allow for space within which laundry can be done and left, just a second, and left out to hang and dry. Not everyone is able to afford the washing machine that has washer, dryer, and so on, managing the high cost of electricity, water to run the machines, as well as constant access to water. Who needs what I know? Middle income, male, females, aged between 28 and 45, working, employed, living busy lifestyles that leave no time for the mundane chore of laundry. Where are these people? They're on Google, they use WhatsApp groups, they are residential, referral marketing, socials are Instagram, Facebook, lifestyle, convenience platforms, apps, hidden life, and so on. So Chesubire, give me quick comments. If you want to do the same, you can do it, we can read, and you can give quick comments. Let's maximize the time. Over to you, Chesubire.
So what Natasha has done, she's followed the brief to a T. And I like that she has, because I can hear, I would read it like this. I'd like you to introduce to you Havana Laundromat. We offer a wash, dry, and fold laundry cleaning service. with next day return and pick up services from your home. That's very easy. You see, when I say 15 words, she can do 15 words with that.
Mm.
So I like that she's very clear about what she knows. So now if you take this paragraph, what do I know, and condense it into 15 words. Why am I saying 15 words? We have 30 seconds to make an impression. So if on the front end, I am not clear about who I am and what I do, but I leave enough for clarification or somebody to ask the next question. So we need to be as clear as we possibly can. When Natasha defines her audience, it is very clear. She's looked at their living conditions. She's looked at their lifestyle. She's looked at their location. So it is very easy for me to see, do I fit in, don't I? Would this help my life, wouldn't it? Because she's managing things that matter to us: water, electricity, time, and how hot I look every day. Okay? And it ensures that I go to work headache-free. And then she has defined her audience as middle income, 28 to 45. And you see that affects where the platforms are, because she's looking for an urban population. So this business wouldn't necessarily fly the way it flies in certain locations in Nairobi and like in Sharks. Okay. So then you look at the locations where they are. So now what Natasha quickly does one flyer, drops in a few WhatsApp groups, goes onto the socials, FB, IG, do a sponsored ad, and she's good to go. So here I can see this could turn around with consistency, turns into business. So that is why those 4 steps work, because now Natasha knows anyone below 28 or above 45, they have people in this age bracket who are the ones who pay for the service. Remember, you have to be targeting the person who takes money out of the pocket and puts it on the table to pay for the needs you meet. So excellent. You get an A, Natasha. Now turn it into 45 words. Because where are they is not part of those 45 words.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, she said they are on Instagram, all these different places, the social media platforms.
What's your handle? What's your handle? Then I go and I sorora.
Natasha, give us your handle so we can sorora.
Your handle in Put your handle in the chat.
Okay. So if you want to be like Natasha, we can go ahead and use that. Actually, that's even faster. But
Yes.
What question would you have for Natasha? I mean, Chasubri, you're good at poking through the story just for its integrity. What kind of question?
So what I'm curious to know is, do you actually keep your timelines? You said next day delivery. Do you actually keep your timelines? And if you don't, how do you mitigate that delay? How do you communicate that delay?
Natasha, do you want to respond? You have access to your mic, but you have to do it very quickly if you want to do that.
Okay, all right. Let me rush through it. Thank you very much for your feedback. We do maintain our timelines, but in the event that we do not, then we communicate with the customer and let them know. We said that it will be ready today, but we are facing a bit of delays. We shall deliver at this time. So it's the constant and consistent communication with the customer, just to let them know what's happening with your very personal items.
So what's your lead time of feedback? If you notice, say you've picked my load at 8 o'clock in the morning, how quickly are you able to see where there are delays and then give me feedback?
So we receive your laundry, we send out a message that we receive your laundry and give you a timeline. If we are not able to deliver within that timeline, we maybe within, let's say we try within 6 hours to tell you whether we're able to or not.
So I'm curious, what got you to this level of efficiency? Because efficiency is critical in your business. Tell me a failure story, a 20-second failure story.
A 20-second failure story is having the customer come all the way from somewhere like Syokimau, when Kilimani, come all the way to, where's my laundry? I'm sorry, it's not ready. And so that for me was, we could have called you shouldn't have wasted your fuel. Like it was crisis.
So you can see
we
our
buy you
expressions.
lunch?
We're like, ooh.
Can we buy you lunch as you wait?
Can we fuel your car?
Yeah, can we fuel your car? We will deliver. So that for me, we have to be consistent in that communication, and especially because laundry is very personal. Your clothes are personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your clothes are personal. We understand. I love that. Okay, Chesubire, go with what you wanted. One quick comment from Chesubire, then we have to switch to George.
So I think that's a good thing. And what I want people to understand is you improve by failing. So fail quickly, but fail forward. If you listen to what Natasha said, she bought the client coffee, figured out how to deliver, sent them back, filled their car. Your client is your most precious asset after your team. So ensure you're speaking to the right people. I'll say that again. Your client is your most precious asset after your team. Please, as much as a client pays the bills, your teams, and these guys must understand this story we are telling. Because if Natasha is not in the office and I'm the one there, I should at least know what the script is to deal with the customer. Or if I get a call, I need to know the script. That's why I'm pushing you to reduce it to something simple, because then if I'm away, I can train Chimera and he will speak on my behalf and we will sound like the same person and we will deliver the same service.
Smile like the same person. Okay, so Chesubire, I'm going to rush you. We have two stories we need to hear. I'm going to read. This is George Mumbo. He was supposed to be presenting, but he's here. So Richwell Investments was established in the year 2020, fully registered. I want to skip somebody on 3rd August 2020 with aim of assisting locals in Ongata, Rongai, these spaces. Its main objective was to assist entrepreneurs around the area to save and invest money wisely. Through other interventions, Richwell Investments began to offer general supply services, general office stationery, supply of printers and printer accessories, foodstuff, office furniture and equipment, and all IT-related components. So Richwell has a small, innovative, effective, and qualified team that is dedicated to ensure service. I'm going to skip forward. 1, who are my customers? Young investors, entrepreneurs, visionary men, struggling entrepreneurs. What do I know? I am best in planning, coordinating finance management, communication, controlling, and credit management. And then where are my customers? Most are in Rongai, in their business owners, in their potential customers online. Quick comment, Chesubire.
I'm confused about what you do. I'm confused because you gave me such a cool story about real estate. Then suddenly I'm seeing accessories, furniture, no. So
and
what
IT,
you need to do, George, is I don't know whether each of these are subsidiaries of the same group. I don't know. It's very confusing because all that, and then you're a planner, coordinator, finance management. So where did the land come in? Where's the IT from?
Office furniture,
It's too fractured. I do understand that there's the need to be in multiple spaces to generate multiple incomes. You need to structure it. So if you're coming into a space which is real estate, talk about real estate only. Figure out, package each of these service products or services into a unit, and then sell that unit. When you come into a space, choose which unit you're giving prominence. I'm confused. I don't know what to listen to.
Let me maybe, if I may put it forward, Richwell Investments. So it's Richwell Investments, which means there's a whole bouquet of areas that we work in. So if I'm telling the story of Richwell, how do I tell it? Because maybe there's an arm for food stuff. We invest also in office furniture, in IT. It's a cluster. How do I tell that story? Or is it not a good?
Each cluster is a brand in itself. So give me the brand name. Richwell Investments. So we have Richwell Properties. We have Richwell Furniture and Fittings. We break them into brands. I would say so.
Okay, so
Because I
you
know
wouldn't go for
retail is
telling
a
the
whole
the
different
wider.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
let me give you Safaricom. Under Safaricom,
Yeah.
we have M-Pesa, we have Fuliza, because Fuliza is a product of M-Pesa, M-Shwari is a product of M-Pesa, but they can almost stand alone. Does that make sense? But then even under there, on their apps, they have the service they sell to business owners who can publicize on their payment platforms. But that's apps for business. I know because I'm a business owner and the association I was in were doing about it. So structure it such that you're not talking about everything in one breath. Every space you go into, figure out which is the best brand to bring to the table. Does that make sense?
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think it says yes. I appreciate Madam's guidance. I think that if you want to take an extra minute, you can do that, because I also know that there's many entrepreneurs here, and many of us do many things, and we try to do it like under one umbrella. And we're curious, how do you tell that story as opposed to the individual one? Or then in this case, I'm just curious, you focus on what you do in terms of as an investment. Who do you attract to get into this investment circle and things like that? What are your thoughts, Chisubire?
You have to have the overarching story. So what is Safaricom? Is Safaricom a telco or a technology company? They began as a telco, but they have grown into a technology company with X products in their bouquet. So then you will, when you're talking about Safaricom, you talk about providing technological solutions that support the businesses and individuals to access finance and communications. That's not what they say. This is just me doing off the top of my head. So then somebody asks, but how do you do it? Oh, we have the whole voice call arm plus the text. They have that whole arm. They have the mobile money arm, and under mobile money, they've got multiple products. So you see, you have a big vision for the holding company, and then each business unit has its vision. So each SBU has a vision that feeds up, but it meets a very specific audience. Somebody said this feels like you're writing a research paper. At the front end, it does. Because as the business owner, if you don't clarify it, your teams will cause confusion and you won't sell.
Okay.
So have the overarching vision, and then each unit has its own vision that ties to the overarching one. So then when you go into a space and it's an investment space, carry the briefcase of the investment arm. If you go into a space that is all about IT and technology, carry the IT arm.
Right. Okay, so clarify all stories, do the research, do the work for what's the trunk and what's the branch, make it very clear. Okay, good. Chisubire, can I indulge just one last one? I think we have time for one more. Maureen, thank you, Maureen, for putting that in the chat. Maureen Gatururi says, who am I? My name is Maureen Mudhoni. I make smooth and natural butter, peanut butter. What do I know? Problem and solution it offers. One, there's need for natural products, peanut butter being one of them, no preservatives, no sugar or salt added. Two, smooth butter is easy for your kids to apply for themselves and gain independence early. Love that. Who needs what I know? Target audience, parents with special needs children, since they need a good diet and peanut is a great source of protein. Two, parents who are enthusiastic of organic and natural products. Three, fitness enthusiasts. We have organizations with nutrition projects. Age group in terms of audience, 25 to 60. Where are they? And where does she connect with them? Online. So these are on WhatsApp, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're shopping in stores, and they are there by referral. What's your comment?
I like the clarity. So reduce it, once again, 50 words, reduce it to 50 words. And when you look at your age brackets, you may need to divide your age bracket a little bit more. even if I appreciate that that's the range of people who buy, but even within that range, there are certain needs that are tailored to certain clusters. So just tailor when you're going online, Instagram, WhatsApp. So Instagram, you know who you're targeting on that age bracket because there's a certain demographic who are not there. WhatsApp, you know who you're targeting, and Facebook, you know who you're targeting. So I like the clarity. Now I'd be interested to see how you turn this into a marketing thought process. Because remember we said your brand is holistic. It's the whole business. But very good effort, excellent effort. Now I'd like to see the 50-word version.
Okay, it's still, Chesubiri, I'm still going to push you to, if you had one question to ask, what question would you ask Maureen? Maureen, your mic is open. As soon as Chesubiri asks, please go ahead. You have like a minute or so.
Who is currently buying? Which is your largest age bracket buying?
Okay, Maureen, care to respond?
At the moment, if you can hear me, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
perfectly. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, at the moment, between 30 to 50.
Is it possible to focus there for a bit?
Yeah, it is.
Because when you're marketing, consistency is what gives you market share. So if you can focus into that space, what do they typically ask you for? What are they specific on sizes? What is your fastest selling size?
The 800 grams for families.
How long
because
does
most
it
have
take?
children. So different families differently. I have this where I save the date for when someone buys, and then after 3 or 4 buys, I know how often you need to replace, and then I text you a week before the normal date you would buy to just remind you if it's running low. Let me know and I will get it to you as soon as possible. So different families, sometimes they range.
Estimate? Do you have an estimate? Average? When you take me who buys once every 2 months and the one who buys every week, if you average that off, what's your midline?
I think at the moment, once every 3 weeks for the big 800 grams, and every 2 weeks if the kids are not in school.
Now, audience, are you seeing that she has data?
See that?
Data is what will save you, and you have. I was wondering why you're so succinct. Now I know why.
Yes,
Because
she's
you
done
have
the research.
Exactly. So she knows.
Well done,
you must know with your
Maureen.
product how often people buy, so that you can do what she does. Your normal buying cycle is every 4 weeks. In the 3rd week, hi, are you running low? How do you think I will feel as a customer?
Yeah.
She remembered.
Yeah.
This is branding. This is now serious branding. But you see, it is more than her logo and her packaging. It is the experience she has given her customers. Even now, I just want to buy peanut butter. But now I just want to feel loved like that. You know?
You're welcome. You're welcome to purchase.
Maureen, someone is already asking about like, okay, since you have the information, we can ask you quick fire. Mode of delivery, tell us. Eric is asking.
So rent a shelf in town, and I'm trying to get a rent a shelf in Thika so that it's easy for people to access the products in town. Then
deliver to, if I ordered, can you deliver it to me wherever I am?
Yeah.
That's really what we're asking.
Yes, it's possible. Though most people have preferred to pick up, but I can do deliveries if needed. Yeah.
So your mode of delivery
CBD.
is pickup?
Within
long
CBD.
statements. Mode of delivery, individual pickup or rider to you? Simple answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, sorry, Chesubiri is skipping over it, but I think what she's pushing to you is keep your answers extremely short because people won't remember what you say. 2 things. You can pick it up. We have a store here, or we deliver to you. That's all she needs to hear. Chesubire,
Yeah.
I see you. I see you. I just so you know, I attended Chesubire's class. She was on this on this session last year, and I loved it so much. I got into her class, and I really so that's if you think I know what I know, I'm picking everything from Chesubire. Okay. So Maureen, you're doing such a great job. People want to know your contact. So let's put a plug there. You seem to be like extremely prepared. So put that in the chat. But I also had one question. So what's this piece about the special needs children? I thought that was interesting. You have 1 minute.
So that's something that I learned this year. I got, so when I visit people, I come with my peanut butter as a part of the shopping bag, as you normally would visit someone with a shopping bag. So someone tried the peanut butter and she works for an organization that have nutrition projects. So when she went back to her workspace, she was able to say, I have this product butter that I tried, it was natural. And since we are working with this special need, they work with special need children, families, and they help them like come up with a perfect diet for these people. So me talking to her made me realize, oh, so there's a market for this. And yeah, people with special need children need to make the diet extra special for them. And so for that, they need a high sense of protein. So how she opened my eyes to that. I didn't know that before.
Since now you know what's the plan for that. See, Chesubire, I learned well, Chesubire. Chesubire, clap for me. Clap
You
for
are
me
a good
as a good
student,
student.
Sam.
Wait, I got you. Okay, sorry, but let's get back to the serious one. What's your plan for that? Because it is quite interesting, because then I think Chesubire is going to go to where else are these institutions. Maybe you can reach out the same way the other person failed to get individuals, but they can get to prisons. So what's your plan?
Yeah, so my plan at the moment is I had a conversation with her if I can go to one of their sessions when they're meeting up with those families and doing the meetings with them, and take a few pictures of them and using the peanut butter in the session so that I can use that to market social media, what they're doing and how it's helping those families, and just even take testimonials of the families and what the peanut butter has done for them. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Maureen, put your contacts in the chat. I think people want to pick up on that peanut butter. But Chesubire, I'm turning it over to you. We have like 1 minute to wrap it up. And then I hope that this was very helpful. If it was, please put your hands together for everyone who contributed, who was here. Amazing, amazing. Please keep those claps going. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you so much. Chesubire, what are your closing thoughts having done these sessions? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
So this is the reality of the market. The customer is your best lead, not just for sales, but for product improvement and for market expansion. But you have to understand, remember, your customer must be willing and able to pay. So if you're selling for a child, who puts the money down? It's the parent. So then you market both to the parent. You can do teasers for the children, but your marketing efforts must focus on the person who is buying, number one. Number two, we need more Marines in the house who have data on the people who purchase their products. Number two, know your customer intimately. She's added the dimension of you need to know how frequently they purchase, where they normally pick up from, what you need to move to, because the thought of thicker means she has a target market there. And number three, never stop iterating. Don't get comfortable. Your customer needs, feelings, emotions change. Every 18 months, something shifts. Remember, we had COVID for 1.5 years, then we went back to normal. So people who are getting into the sanitation and sanitizer business 18 months in made losses. The ones who entered at the onset made billions. So be clear that your market will consistently shift and consistently watch and ask questions. That's it. Never stop learning. Never stop understanding your market. Never stop talking to your customers, because you are only as good as the next sale you make. And I think I will stop there.
Thank you so much, Chesubire. Please reach out to Chesubire. So her awesomeness is not just for free. This is
Thank
what
you.
she does. Yes, this is what she does. Over years, she's crafted this. She's helped hundreds and I guess thousands of businesses online and also on one-on-one spaces. Reach out to her. She's the SME growth consultant. I think it's like the storyteller, the master storyteller, business whisperer, all these different things. There's also a certified leadership coach. And yes, her awesomeness is what puts food on the table. And that's why we invite her here, because she's awesome. We also want to give you access to her so you can reach out, get these services. You can find her on Instagram and all these amazing social media platforms, but she's been kind to share her work line here in her email. So grab that. And I want to say a big, big, big thank you to Chesubire. Let's appreciate Chesubire. A big round of applause, please. Big, 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 big round of applause. The same way she came in is the same way she rolls out. Big applause going. Thank you, Chesubire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so our time is has been spent well, and we have like 2 minutes to end. I think this was really awesome. Big shout out. I want to say thank you to Co Bank. And this year, what they decided to do was the question like between Co Bank and AMI, how can we make these sessions even more practical? Last year's were great, but we want to make this even more practical. So they're listening to you, clients, the customers, and they want to find out how can we serve the customer even more. And I think the feedback that you gave was, how can we make this more practical? And that's why we're doing some of these sessions. If you're enjoying that, that's absolutely fantastic. And a big thank you to COPA. So Peter, I want to welcome you just to reiterate some of the commitments that we can expect from our bank, and then we'll close shortly.
Wow, thank you, Sam, and many, many thanks to Chesubire. Chesubire, that was awesome. I think for the last 2 sessions, we've had very, very practical tips. And on this thing of branding, I think there's a class that we went with you, Chesubire, and I think we got different skills. I am now interested to join your class as well to learn more on branding. And I think this will be helping us, even as a bank, to continue supporting our customers and making sure that we give them what they need. And thank you so much, our dear participants. I see a number of us have shared their stories. Beldin, Margaret, George, Natasha, Maureen, Grace. I saw a number of us who already shared their stories. I think that is good. Let us just go out and refine our brand story. Let's go out and make it as just what Chesubire have trained us, so that then we'll have more impact. And I think what we will do is to say, as your businesses continue to grow, CoBank is here with you. We walk with you in this journey. For those who are operating and they want to increase their premises, you want to add more stock, CoBank is here to offer you the working capital solutions. We are here to assist you with asset finance. We are here to help you to collect money using our digital tools to correct and even make payments. We are here to offer you even with other insurance solutions. I think as a bank, we are saying that we are here to work with you in your business journey and in your entrepreneurial journey, both with the financial solutions that we have as a bank and with the trainings that we have that we call the non-financial services. And so I'm looking forward to us continue to learn and to partner more. And next week, Sam, you don't want to disclose to the team that we have a great speaker who I'm looking forward to, to have a session with. And I just want to encourage us to look forward for the session, be having another practical tips that you'll be able to get. And so, Sam, because of time, I want to stop here and really to thank our dear customers, the participants, and everybody who will be in this session, just to make sure that we continue to learn and we continue to meet here and we continue to partner even more. So all the very best in your businesses. Yeah. Over back to you, Sam.
Thank you. So we're going to be doing, just give me 2 extra minutes. We'll take 1 or 2 extra things that you may need to know. So 1, I want to let you know if you have any ideas. In fact, even like who would you like to have in these sessions? You have someone in mind that you think would be great for these sessions or a particular topic, please let Fiona Maina know. That's her contact on the screen. The other thing that I want to do is to launch a quick quick poll. So I've launched a poll. Please, if you're already here in the live session, let us know. So there's like 4 questions there, 4 quick questions. Give us some feedback about our facilitator today, give us some feedback about the session that we've had, and also what other sessions you might be interested in, and also what services from CoopBank. This will help us to make sure that we have the service ready for you. And then after this, I'll be showing you, like what Peter said, I'll be telling you who we can expect for next week and what we're going to be talking about. So today we want to leave you in clear knowledge of who you're to expect, so you can come early, 30 minutes early if you can, and we have a maximized session. So number one, did the facilitators seem knowledgeable, well prepared, and communicate efficiently or effectively? Give us some feedback there. I want us to just take 1 minute on this. So we're at 6%, 7%. If you haven't responded, kindly do. We are at about 10% response. Keep the number going up as quickly as you can. I'll keep counting up. So we are like at 15%. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 20% right now. Yeah, thank you. This is much quicker response, so I appreciate it. We're at 25%. We want to reach at least 70%. I think that's an acceptable rate of response. Second question is, how would you rate the level of interaction in this session? Because that's important to us. 3, how applicable were the tools that you received? Also in line with the tools, I think Fiona will be resending the tool. So the tool about describing yourself and also who's your customer, what are you doing, and who needs it. Okay, so that will be resent if you missed it last week, so you can have a go at it. And also take the time to challenge yourself. 45 words, 3 sentences each. Is it sounding like research? Yes, but the beauty of knowing that one phrase is that it makes your elevator pitch easier, makes it easier to interact and tell people about your business. So just do the work, at least in the front end, so we can benefit from the rest of the sessions. We're at about 50%. Can I count it down at this point? If you haven't responded, kindly do. That will help us chance. Going once, going twice. Okay, oh yes, number 4 is, which solutions do you need from CoopBank, especially based on today's webinar. So most of you are saying working capital, and then there's also the MSME package account. All that is available for you. As that's going, maybe we can take some time and tell you a little bit about who you are to expect. Fiona, if you could come onto video and tell us about next week, what can we expect?
Thank you so much, Sam.
Yes.
And thank you so much for to all our attendees. Thank you for being patient. So next week we have something super exciting lined up for you. Today and last week, Chesubire really covered about telling your brand stories and how to reach and understand that customer. And then next week on Thursday, same time, same place, we will be having Muthoni Mushai, who is a business development coach and also a marketer, where she'll be telling us and giving us practical tips and tools, right, to create lasting relationships with our customers. So we've learned, how do you get them, right? So Muthoni, how do you get your customers? How do you tell your story so that is relatable to your customers? Then Muthoni will come and help us keep them and grow them. So how do you keep these customers? What kind of story do you need to continue telling your customers so that they are always returning customers? And how do you create relationships that last? So see you next week. Over to you, Sam.
Right. So we like to end our sessions with a prayer, and I'm going to invite, if you don't mind, Maureen Gatu Ruri, if you don't mind, please say a prayer for us, and then we'll call it day. Maureen, please switch on your mic and say that prayer for us.
Okay, let's pray.
Sure.
Thank you, God, for the amazing time that we've had here together. We thank you for the speaker that we had today and how she was able to help us just reflect on our businesses and be able to grow them. We pray that you give us the strength and the ability to go implement everything that we've learned today. Give us the wisdom to know how to go about it, and even the discernment as we proceed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a great week. See you next week, Thursday, 11 to 12:30, same time.